You can grab your mat and roll it out, and we'll begin in just a few moments. A bit of housekeeping before we get started. As with any yoga practice, be sure to listen to your body. You shouldn't experience any kind of pain, so if you do, just ease back out of a posture. You can always take a comfortable seat, you can lay flat on your back, or you can rejoin us when you feel ready to do so. We'll start by tuning our attention inward here, noticing the rise and fall of your chest, starting to lengthen your breath just a bit, maybe closing your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. We'll have a few breath cycles here, just grounding in, reconnecting with ourselves. If your mind is wandering, gently lengthen your breath just a bit and begin to match the length of your inhales to your exhales, returning your focus back to your breath and letting go of any lingering outside thoughts. We'll have just a few more breath cycles here, noticing the points of our body that are making connection to the mat beneath us. Noticing the steady rise and fall of our chest with each breath that we take. With your next exhale, you can gently begin to blink your eyes back open if they're not already. We'll make our way to our first posture, which will be a butterfly. So connecting the soles of your feet together, we'll inch our pelvis just a bit closer to our heels. Tuning back into your breath, that you can either keep your eyes open with a soft gaze at the front edge of your mat, or you can gently blink them closed. Your mind has wandered off. Let go of those lingering thoughts with your next exhale, tuning your attention back to your breath, back to your body here. When you're ready, you can gently blink your eyes open and we'll make our way to a deer pose. We'll bring our left shin parallel to the front edge of the mat, and then we'll bring our right shin parallel to the long edge. You have a couple options here. You can either sit tall, leaning slightly forward. You can take a slight recline back, noticing if that feels nice, and being mindful of your neck and shoulders to keep them nice and soft, relaxed. Or you have the option of folding forward over the front leg. You don't need to worry about how far down you go. There's no goal here. You're not trying to do anything more than just be. Tuning your attention back to your breath for a few cycles here in this deer. If your mind has drifted off, gently return your attention back to your body, back to your breath. We'll start to invite some small movements here. We're going to unfold ourselves on our next inhale, sitting tall. If you were reclined back, as you inhale, you can come subtly forward and we'll all meet back in a neutral spine. From here, we'll welcome in a bit more movement before our next stillness, opening up our knees and taking some windshield wipers side to side. Flowing through at your own breath pace. You can move with each inhale and exhale. When you feel pretty even, we're going to turn and take the deer on this other side. So our right shin will come parallel to the short edge of the back side of the mat, and our left shin will come almost parallel to the long edge of the mat. You have the same options on this side, but keep in mind each side of your body may be a little different. So maybe something different will feel nice. Whether you choose to recline back, keeping your neck and shoulders limber and loose, or stay tall, or fold over the front. You'll take the deer posture that feels best on this side and tune your attention back to your breath here for a few breath cycles. If your mind has wandered off, blow away that next thought like you're blowing out some candles. Taking the most nourishing inhale you've taken all day on your next breath. We'll have just a couple more breath cycles here. On your next breath, when you're ready, you'll gently start to unfold, rising tall if you're folded over, coming back to a neutral spine if you're reclined. We'll invite those windshield wipers back and forth to bring some short, slow movements, still moving mindfully with your breath. When you feel ready, we'll turn and place our feet flat on the mat, scooting our backside to our heels so that we can recline. From this recline here, we're going to hug our knees into our chest and rock side to side if that feels nice, or you can stay still and static. From here, whether you're still or rocking, you can bring your knees wide, keeping your big toes together to widen and enhance that feeling. From here, on your next exhale, we'll gently bring our knees back together. With our knees hugged into our chest, we'll allow them to come over to the left side of our body to find a gentle reclined twist. You have the option here to either tee out your arms or goddess or goalpost them, whichever feels best and maybe keeps your shoulders a bit more grounded. You can take your gaze over your right shoulder to enhance this twist, extending it up through the top part of your spine. When you're ready, on your next exhale, you can gently start to bring your arms towards your core, turning toward the side that we put our legs on. We're going to help ourselves roll back through the center here. You can hug your knees into your chest, lifting your head and shoulders off the mat to make a nice ball. You can leave your head and shoulders rooted and take that gentle rock side to side if that feels better. We'll move through a few breath cycles here, so that we can find some stillness in our supine twist on the other side. When you feel pretty even, you can pause, finding a neutral spine, hugging your knees just a bit tighter to your chest, and then allowing them to drop over to the right side of your mat. Again, you have the option to tee out your arms or goddess or goalpost them, depending on what feels best and what helps to keep your shoulders fairly grounded. Tuning your attention back to your breath here for a few cycles. Notice if you're still taking deep, nourishing breaths, even in this twisted posture. If you haven't already done so, you can bring your gaze over your left shoulder to extend this twist gently through the top of your spine. When you're ready, on your next exhale, we'll start to bring our arms back towards our core, helping our legs back up through center. This time, we're going to bring our feet flat to the mat. You might have to scoot back down to center yourself, finding space so that you can spread out eventually. Enough room that you could extend your leg fully and your arm up overhead, being mindful of your surroundings if they're tight like mine. From here, we're going to reach our fingertips towards our heels, and on our next inhale, we'll send our hips high, coming into a bridge posture. You can gently start to bring your shoulders in just a bit as you raise your thighs, keeping your core engaged, your glutes engaged here, and continuing to take deep, nourishing breaths. On your next exhale, we'll gently roll one vertebrae at a time back down, lifting our heels off the mat and coming all the way to our tailbone. When our tailbone touches, hugging our knees back into chest. This time we'll send our feet like we're going to stand on the ceiling or the sky. We'll reach for the outer edges of them, coming into a happy baby. You can also reach for your shins or hug behind your thighs, noticing what feels nice to do so today. You can also switch between those options anytime. You can choose stillness or you can rock side to side. Maybe bend one leg and extend the other, moving through with your own breath pace, moving how it feels nice for you. Right now, you're not taking care of anyone but yourself. You can let everything else go with your next exhale. From here, when you feel even and ready, we'll release the grip that we have, bring our knees back together, and send our heels toward the sky, reaching our legs long and our arms alongside us. If your shoulders are coming up, you can gently tuck your chin here. We're in a waterfall posture, knowing at any time you can bend your knees to bring your feet back to the mat. You could always do one leg at a time as well, keeping one foot grounded, the other raised, and alternating when it feels nice to do so. We'll have a few breath cycles here in Waterfall. Continue breathing full, nourishing breaths, even if you're shaky, even through a little discomfort from holding your legs in the air. From here, when you're ready, you can gently bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. We're going to extend our legs out long, our arms out long overhead. You can interlace your fingertips and press your palms out toward the back wall, pressing your feet towards the opposite side of the room for a full body stretch. Your next exhale will gently release the grip you have, bringing your arms down long beside you, your legs staying long and adjusting yourself on your mat so you can take up as much space as possible for our final resting pose of Savasana. You can tune your attention to your breath here for a few moments. And if you catch your mind wandering off, you can bring your attention back to your breath on your next exhale, blowing out so much so that your next thought is just to take a breath. And if your mind wanders off and you don't catch it, I'll call you back when the time is right. If your mind has wandered off, gently bring your attention back to your breath, back to the space around you. You can start to invite some small movements, maybe wiggling your toes and fingers, circling your ankles and wrists, letting those movements grow as it feels nice to do so. As you come up out of Savasana and make your way back to a seated posture, take your time here. You can turn to one side, whichever you favor, resting your head and your bicep for just a breath or two, being as gentle and careful with yourself as you are with those you care for. On your next breath, you can gently press into your top hand, allowing yourself to come back to a seated posture. You can keep your eyes closed, or you can gently blink them open to a soft gaze at the front end of your mat. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you can take with you a sense of peace and ease through the week ahead, and that you know you can tune your attention to your breath at any time, no matter what life brings your way. Life comes at you fast, and we can't always anticipate what's next, but we can take a moment to pause and to just let ourselves be, to take care of ourselves so that we can truly show up and take care of those around us. Namaste.